There it is. I received my push notification. A cross between a Yorkshire Terrier and a Maltese, a Morkie. That's what he got. It's like a very it looks like a stuffed animal. Oh no. Wait, on my phone? Or I can't hear anything on my phone or in my oh yeah, I can okay, I could hear that briefly. There's no audio. Wait, is it playing? It says waiting for is it actually live? It says waiting. Hmm. Oh, I can hear myself. I can hear myself. Yeah, apparently. Hi. Yeah, apparently. Hi. Well, this is awkward. Was not prepared to have been live, but yeah, sure. Hello, hi.
Let's just skip to this screen.
Yeah, okay. We'll just do that, Connor.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you, but I can't hear you on the thing.
Whoa.
I don't believe.
Come on, bro.
Oh no, I can hear you. I can hear you on YouTube.
Is it loud enough? Can you hear me?
I mean, I think you're just being quiet.
Usually.
I'm just loud and you're quiet, I think is the problem that we are running into. Okay, yep, we're good. They can hear us. He let us know. We're coming through. All right, so here we are.
How got
Blown out, overexposed. Is this all the way down?
Going well.
Too much light. I was prepared for this, but here we are.
Looks even
hi,
brighter
Connor. How are you?
on stream than it does. I'm fine.
I know. I'm saying I'm. Just gonna hide half of this. Maybe that'll help. Fucking.
Dropped. I did see that
excuse
there
me?
was an announcement for Hillier, and apparently that was it.
I know nothing of this. That is exciting. That's definitely not going. Okay.
It is what it is.
I don't even feel like it helped at all. I feel like it's still bad. What if I just turn it backwards? What if I just do that?
Turn it backwards.
Literally, that's yeah. It's out. Okay, it's a little better.
Fire.
It's not great. Okay. Yeah. So this was all stuff that was going to be done by the time
testing before we went live.
Yeah, before we realized that we were live.
Pale ginger issues.
Yeah.
Too much light. Jacob's actively getting a sunburn.
Literally, I turned the light backwards. I could move the mic or the
You're wired to
the webcam to show you, but it'd take me 10 minutes to get that set back up too. Yeah, I'm gonna break. Oh man, okay, this is rough. All right, so
What's up?
We are trying to do this remotely for the first time, so
Yes, Jacob's at home
bear
and I
with
am at
us. I
home.
am yeah.
It's going better
I
than
got
expected.
Discord. I
Honestly, it's
mean,
going better than when you're here.
not wrong. We do run in. We never get the audio to work when I'm there, and this time it
Yeah.
has worked too
Just
soon.
works fine for some
Perfect.
reason.
Love it. Awesome. Okay, so let's just get started. Today we're talking about the Kushtaka,
Yes.
the
Kush. Taka.
land Otter-man is like the direct translation there, I believe. I heard of the Alaskan Otter-man as well. That was kind of my
Yeah.
like the first thing that I had heard when I had heard about this.
Some different spellings, like really,
And there's some
really
like
spelled
yeah
out.
regional
I
variants.
like were otter.
Okay, that's a good one. I had not considered that until I saw your notes, but
Yeah. Well, I saw in one place like I will get to it. What is the Kushtaka?
well, I mean, it is found in the folklore of the Dinget and I did not practice this one. Simshian, Xian, Simshian peoples.
Simshian.
Yeah, the peoples of the Pacific Northwest coast of North America. So Alaska, again, some regional variant names. But it is a 7 foot tall, shape shifting bipedal creature with a normal build that is covered in hair, sort of Bigfoot esque, but also skinwalker vibes. It mentioned that they can definitely assume the form of a human and an otter. In some stories, there's like a variety of species of otter that it can turn into, and sometimes there's only one species of otter. So this got me wondering, like, the
What are
limits
you
of
wondering?
shape shifting.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's like not even necessarily this, but like assuming something has like the ability to do that, like just put everything else aside, just assume that like cool, yep, you can change shapes. Like, does it have like can it only change into another living thing, or can it change into any living thing, or can it turn into like inanimate objects, or like is it too
Yeah.
complicated?
What
Like
classifies a
does it
living
require
thing?
too much energy or something to like turn into a vase or something? Like I don't know, but
A tree.
yeah, like can
Could
I'm
it
just
be a
curious about like
tree?
how the bounds of which like shape shifting would fall within there. Like what like it almost seems like in this it's just like it's either or, like it's either a human or it is an otter.
And potentially sometimes both at the same
It's
time.
like in between sort of kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yes, like but I don't think it can change into like anything else. Like a werewolf, I mean, again, the same kind of thing. Like it is a person or it is a werewolf, like a wolf. Like
A were
it is
otter.
one in one state or the other. Like it can't change into anything else. So I don't know if this is those are the bounds here, like where it's like it can be a person or an otter or some weird in between state. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting off it. Not like really like a skinwalker so much.
Yeah. It's like one or the other for sure. But also sometimes
Uh,
both. Stuck
oh,
between the two. Some stories, the Kushtaka is cruel, while in other stories, like it helps people survive in the cold and lures people to their deaths, essentially, with cries of a baby or screams of a woman, often to shores like the rivers and oceans, where it will either turn them to shreds or turn them into a Kushtaka.
that's sometimes like considered saving people as well. So there was like a
Yeah.
specific example of like let me see this spot in my notes. Save a lost individual by distracting them with curiously otter-like illusions of their family and friends as they transform their subject into a fellow Kushtaka, thus allowing them to survive the cold. What the fuck are otter-like illusions?
Just like, it's my
I
brother,
saw
but
this. Like, what
he's
the
an
fuck do you
otter.
mean? Okay, he is kind of like an otter. You know, I guess I've been giving otters a lot of grief this whole time for nothing.
It's just Jacob, but he's an otter. It has a beard and red
My
hair.
God, my God. Yeah, I don't know. They can just turn people into more of them somehow. That's never really like explained or anything. They're just like, yep.
It just happens.
We just accept this as fact. But conveniently, there are a lot of things that like would repel them and keep them away.
Yes,
Can
that's
be
my favorite
warded
part.
off through copper, urine, dogs, and in some instances, fire.
So like if you had dog piss, would it be super effective?
Uh, Either that or it would cancel out like two negatives.
But it's two positives. Depends on whose view you're looking from, I guess.
See, there you go.
You
Yeah, I
just have
think
the dog piss on
I
it.
would say that would be super effective if I had to put my money on it. Yeah, I would say there's enough of the same. I think generally they're just like scared of dogs. I don't know if
Like,
what the
whoa.
urine thing is. I didn't really see much about that other than just like that was on the list of like copper and urine.
Yeah, just
I don't understand. I don't understand that, but
just
is that
piss on
something
him.
like silver? You know what I mean? Like the silver bullet and those sort of things. Is that the Alaskan silver bullet is just copper?
Oh,
Is this something that I don't know about?
that I definitely don't know about. Never heard of it before in my life.
I'm just wildly making accusations. It doesn't
What are
matter.
your regular old bullets made out of? Copper?
I have no idea. Probably not. I feel like
Just
copper's a really
guns?
soft metal. I have no idea what density
So,
of metal you want for a bullet.
somebody in chat tell me what they're made out of.
What is a bullet made of?
Because the end has to be like somewhat soft. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about guns.
There's probably different metals for different parts of it. This
Different
is off
types.
topic and doesn't matter, but I will. Copper and lead. My God, one of them is copper. Okay.
See.
God damn it. Of course it's lead. I feel like an idiot for having not known lead. It's like the
Everybody in
cliche
chat
when you get
is.
shot. Everybody's spamming copper and lead.
Everybody's spamming Jacob. You're looking like a scary cryptid. Can you turn the light off? I don't know
Dog,
why it's so
I can
bright.
turn it off. It is literally down all the way. It's not even facing me. It's facing the opposite direction. It is facing the wall. I am that bright, dog. I just turn it
You're
off.
emitting your own.
I'll
That's
just
what I
yeah, I'll
said.
just sit in the dark, no
It's
light.
still bright on your face.
No, that's just my monitor, dog.
It's Jacob. He's fucked.
What do I mean, if I turn the light on behind me, is that gonna help? Or is that just gonna make it focus on the light?
I'm not.
Oh no, that'll make
convinced.
it dark. That'll make it dark. Hold up.
Jacob attempting to fix the situation. At least we can see the features of your face.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Did that help?
Yeah, that's
It looks significantly better.
correct.
Now I can almost turn the light on.
Yeah, you need some foreground and background light. But now it makes what? Now you're really dark.
That's probably yeah. Hold up. Seeing if this is too much. I know this is fantastic content. You guys watching me spin a light, but
Light
you know.
balancing.
Here we are.
Balancing in the light.
Okay. I mean,
Acceptable. Great
is this
job.
better? Am I getting roasted anymore, or are we good, guys?
Much better, better. Good job.
What fucking man? I don't have chat. Sad. Okay.
You don't?
Back at it. I guess
Back at it.
I had something that I did not include.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Include it now?
Maybe I included it. I think I already included it. I already included it. So, did you have anything else as far as like appearance that I missed? I think I got
have
it all.
some things related to that have a slight difference in appearance.
Oh,
Some
no.
more
I did
details.
have some more things. I apologize. I found where I was talking about. So it does emit a high-pitched 3-part whistle in the pattern of low,
Mhm.
high, low. It can also imitate bird calls and mimic wolves by whistling through its teeth. I also heard in one place that they can throw super well. The phrase
they're lying.
pinpoint accuracy was used. I guess they use like small
Quarterbacks.
rocks or sometimes sharpened sticks to throw at game, which means that people have witnessed
Quite
them hunt.
intelligent.
That's
Or
very
they made that
strange.
up.
Or also that, but who's to say?
Maybe it was a man in a ghillie suit. Just practicing some,
Okay, buddy.
javelin throwing.
Okay, are we on to stories and shit?
Yeah, I guess we could make our way that way.
Okay.
The most prominent one here from Harry D. Culp, CULP.
Oh, I have the whole thing
have
on
some?
that one. I have the entire thing. I literally have all of it.
Okay, that's either that or Charlie Sheen.
Well, you can't mention Charlie Sheen and not talk about Charlie Sheen, Connor.
Fair. Charlie Tiger Blood Sheen, who visited Loch Ness and searched for Nessie at one point. And did he have a camera crew with him, or did he just do it out of?
He had a crew with him. I do not
curiosity?
know if they were like doing a TV show. As far as I know, it was not for a TV show.
I mean, maybe if he had found something at either of these places, it would have been a TV show. But he found nothing at Loch Ness, and as we'll hear, he found nothing in Alaska.
They still make all those other shows, even though nobody finds anything. We still make this show, even though
That's fair. We have never left the house, so.
Okay.
So he visited Sitka, Alaska on his private jet, looking for the Kushtaka. When he failed to find the Kushtaka, he said to a TMZ person, it obviously knew our group was far too skilled to be snowed in this fashion, so it stayed hidden like a sissy.
It do be like that
the
sometimes.
Tiger blood. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
That's the Charlie Sheen
I mean,
story.
you can't not bring up Charlie Sheen and not mention Charlie Sheen.
Facts.
I'm good.
Oh Lord, good thing we're doing this remotely.
So, I guess since we brought up Harry Klopp, I'm gonna do this whole thing. So allegedly, they like wrote this like his part of his manuscript, and he was like gonna send it off, and then it got like kind of like put somewhere and forgotten about, and I don't remember if it was his daughter or his granddaughter, but she took it to wherever. So either way, all right, here we go. So the spring of 1900 found four men batching together in a shack in Wrangell, Alaska. All four were broke, as is usual with prospectors. As luck would have it, I was one of the four. For reasons which will be quite obvious, I will call the other three John, Charlie, and Fred. Charlie came
Charlie
back
Sheen.
into. This just became platoon. Charlie Sheen came back into the shack one night in April, all excited, and said, "Fellows, I have been on the trail of an old Indian for the last month, trying to get him to tell me where he picked up a piece of free quartz he has at his camp. I never said anything about it before because I wanted to get the story from him first, and today he spilled the beans. He told me to go up to Thomas Bay and camp on Patterson River on the right side, travel upriver for about 8 miles, and then turn to the high mountains after traveling about a mile and a half. I wouldn't. This is rough, guys. I would find a lake shaped like a half moon. Plenty of stone like I found on a slide there, he said. Thomas Bay is known by the natives in Alaska as the Bay of Death. About 150 years ago, a slide down one of the mountains wiped out the village, killing over 500 of their inhabitants. So of course the prospector is ready to stampede on a whisper of gold any place, and we were no exception to the rule. We all talked the matter over, and finally it was decided that we would run our faces for an outfit.
Run our faces.
For an outfit. And send Charlie to look the prospect over. While he was gone, John, Fred, and myself would hustle work somewhere for another grub stake to pay off the old one. the wording of this shit
Yeah, I don't
is
know what any of
fucking
this
weird to
means.
me as well. I apologize.
What is a
The
grub
forepart of
shake?
May Charlie's loaded his outfit into a canoe and having favorable weather left for Thomas Bay, which lies northwesternly about 15 miles. He had 3 months' supplies, but was to come back any time sooner if he found anything. But if he didn't show up in that time, we were to put out a search for him. John and Fred took a contract to get out wood, and I got a job at the sawmill. Things went along until the first part of June when on Sunday in the late afternoon, we all being home, in walks Charlie without a coat or a hat and looking as if he'd been through hell. He didn't give us any greeting whatsoever. He just heaved a piece of quartz over into the corner of the room and said, "Get me something to eat. I'm all in and want to rest." The fellows looked at it, and after he had eaten, he turned in without telling us a thing about his trip. We picked up the piece of quartz and said it sure was a pretty thing to look at for a prospector. It was shot through with gold specks, just like a badly freckled faced kid. We were excited, I'll say we were. Just before dark, we walked down the beach to Charlie's outfit as he had come up to the shack with only that piece of quartz in his hand. But there wasn't a thing in his canoe except the oars. Not much sleep for us that night, but Charlie never stopped sawing wood. We had worked hard getting Charlie up for breakfast that next morning, but he didn't. But he did roll out, and he just ate, borrowed a coat and a hat, and left the house without saying a word or even answering one question out of the many to put him by us. All of us, being excited and feeling ourselves worth a fortune, did not go to work that day, but sat around the shack and passed that blamed piece of rock back and forth to each other while we talked and waited for Charlie to come back and make his report. Believe me, we were anxious to hear it. Along in the afternoon, he came in and said, "Fellows, the SS Drigo will be in her way south early tomorrow morning. Can give me enough money for my ticket. Can you give me enough money for my ticket to Seattle? I'm through with Alaska and I never want to see it again. I'll tell you about my trip to Thomas Bay and where I found that quartz, but my advice is for you to forget about it. It will never do you any good and will only cause you a lot of mental and physical pain. If you were not my partners, I would never open my lips about this trip or what I found. But if you promise never to mention my name in connection with it or mention the name of Thomas Bay to me again, I'll give you the straight of my experience up there. Judge for yourselves as to my saneness because this is the most astounding thing you've ever heard, and as far as I'm concerned, is beyond me to reason it out. Don't ask any questions to prolong my story any longer than it takes to tell, as I want to leave Alaska and forget if I can." So his story. The
The strangest
first night,
story ever told.
that is the story. The first night after leaving found me in Idle Cove. Next night, I reached Muddy River in time to make camp again. The third night, I hit Ruth Island in Thomas Bay. I spent the night looking up Patterson River for a suitable place for a good camp, which I found a quarter of a mile up the tidewater on the right side, looking up the river. Broke camp on Ruth Island the next day and moved up to a place I picked out the day before. Put up my tent, packed up my outfit, and left the canoe on the riverbank. The next day, I spent cooking beans, cutting wood, and making things comfortable for a long stay, as it looked like rain. I wanted to get things fixed to keep dry. It started to rain that night and just kept up for days. I lost track of time as each day was like the one before. Had nothing to read, was all alone, couldn't do anything without getting soaked, and the roar of the river and the wind through the timber just about drove me bugs. So I put most of my time sleeping. Finally, the weather broke and I got out. Spent several days trying to find the old Indians' Half Moon Lake, but couldn't get it spotted. I did find about 2 miles from camp upriver, about a mile from it, a lake shaped like the letter S. On the creek coming out of the lower end, I panned some pretty good colors, but as I figured, not enough to get excited about. Yet an indication of gold in the country. I'm talking about dead country, that's for sure. There doesn't seem to be any life in there at all. You might spend all day in the timber without seeing a squirrel. I was getting sort of tired of beans, rice, and bacon, so I had made up my mind I would go over to a ridge about 8 miles east of the S Lake and get a few grouse, as I thought I could hear a few hooters up there when I was at that end of the lake.
They've got a
Grouse, I
Hooters up
think, is how
there.
you say that.
Grouse, I think it's like a small
Grouse.
rodent.
Grouse. I assume it
A
was a
grouse.
bird
That might be a
because
bird.
of hooters, but I don't know.
Is a grouse
Uh,
the thing in Up? The movie Up. I think there's a grouse. I think it's a bird. I don't know.
no, it kind of looks like a pheasant. It's in the
Which
same
is a
family
bird.
as a pheasant. Yeah, it's a bird.
I think it's an
My
Up.
dog is barking.
I
Okay,
can't hear
sure,
it.
whatever. Let me find my spot now.
My apologies.
I left come the next morning, which was a fine sunny day. I took only the rifle with me, and when I came to the ridge, sure enough, there were a few grouse hooting. I shot two and had gotten them when I bagged another one, which fell down the ridge about 100 yards before it hung up. While on my way down to pick it up, I found that piece of quartz. Up to that time, I had paid very little attention to what this country I was in looked like, as it was so heavily timbered and brushy. The formation didn't show up until I had no tools with me to uncover it. The top was an old snag that had broken off and fallen, scraping the top moss, which and loose dirt for space about 8 feet wide and 18 to 20 feet long uncovered the quartz ledge, which is where I found this piece. The ledge was worked smooth by a glacier at one time. I couldn't find anything to break the piece off, so I used the butt of my gun to get a piece. In doing so, I broke the stock of my gun, thus ruining it for further use. This didn't worry me any, as I knew there was not game in the county larger than a grouse, and damned few of them. My first thought was of the richness of the quartz, and you fellows getting back to town so we could get busy on it. After looking it over and enjoying the feeling, just made rich. Uh, I covered the ledge up again with moss, limbs, and rotting chunk. Finally, that job I thought I would climb. I climbed the ridge directly over the ledge and get my landmark so I could come back to find it again, or tell you where it was if anything should happen to me. This I did, climbed straight up over the ledge and the ridge, and when I reached the top, about 600 feet away from where I found the ledge, I looked down below me and picked out a big tree with a bushy top, smaller than the rest, about 50 feet to the right of the ledge. Looking over the top of this tree where I stood, I could see out on Frederick Sound Cape of the Straight Light, the point of Vanderput Spit, Point Vanderput, and turning to the left, I could see Sukhoi Island from the mouth of Wrangell Narrows. Satisfied with that, I turned half around to get back sight on some mountain peaks, and lying below me on the other side of the ridge from the ledge was the half moon lake the Indian had told me about. Right there, fellows, I got the scare of my life. I hope to God I never see or go through something the likes of this again. Swarming up the ridge towards me from the lake were the most hideous creatures. I couldn't call them anything but devils, as they were neither men nor monkeys, yet looked like both. They were entirely sexless, their bodies covered with long, coarse hair, except the scabs and running sores had replaced it. Each one seems to be reaching out for me and striving to be the first to get me. The air was full of their cries and their stench, and the stench from their sores and bodies made me faint. I forgot my broken gun and tried to use it on the first ones, and then I threw it at them and turned and ran. God, how I did run. I could feel their hot breath on my back. Their long claws like fingers scraping my back. The smell from their steaming, stinking bodies was making me sick while the noise they made, yelling, screaming, and breathing drove me mad. Reason left me. How I reached the canoe or how I hung on to that piece of quartz is a mystery to me. When I came to, it was night, and I was lying in the bottom of my canoe, drifting towards Thomas Bay and Sukhoi Island, cold, hungry, and crazy for a drink of water, but only to satisfy the latter urge, I started for Wrangell, and here I am. You no doubt think I'm either crazy or lying. All I can say is there's the quartz. Never let me hear the name of Thomas Bay again, and for God's sake, help me get away tomorrow on that boat. So passed out, Charlie, from our lives. We put this story down as a fantasy caused by loneliness and morbid thought. that is the end of that.
Interesting. So I did not get that bit or the
That
actual
much of
text.
the yeah.
What I did find was Nick Redfern's Mysterious Universe article in search of an Alaskan monster,
Hmm.
where he pretty much tells the same thing, but he makes it sound like it's Culp's story, which was interesting. Like it was
It's
Culp
his
doing the
Culp's.
acts.
Oh,
Like he was
um,
the one that came
I don't.
encounter.
No, I don't believe so. Believe it was the individual Charlie, according to
Yeah,
my my readings here.
yeah. Wikipedia backs that up, saying it was a story from a miner
Okay.
described in Culp's The Strangest Story Ever Told.
Yes, that is what it was called. Do you
But
have another story?
um, I do a similar story related, but this time on the Kenai Peninsula. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Okay.
It's at the south end of Alaska. It's a port town, and it's lain empty for quite some time, since the 50s. In 1931, a man who was out chopping wood was found murdered. The cause was a seemingly single blow that couldn't have been done by a human. There was also a hunting group that was they reported finding some footprints while stalking a moose. They came upon a bloody scene, but no moose was found. But they did find footprints measuring over 18 inches long, and they were trailing off into the fog of the mountains. There's another report from a resident who saw a huge hairy man destroying fish wheels along the beach. The man ran to get his gun, and when he returned, the large beast just stared at him as he walked off. Um, Also during this time, I think this was like World War II era, in the 30s here. Uh, just bodies came down the river.
Oh,
Um, yeah, with strange wounds on them. Says no bear could have made these wounds that the people were showing up with. The combined events terrified locals, and people started to leave. All but the postmaster had left by 1949, where he only lasted about a year more, closing the post office in 1950.
damn.
So the local Alutiiq speaking natives called the half man, half beast the Nantiinaq,
Okay.
Nantiinaq, um, which there it was another report.
Natina. The Natina of the Dena'ina, natives of South Central Alaska. That is their regional name for it, which is quite similar to whatever you just said in my mind.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's very similar.
Sorry to jump in there.
No, just a fisherman who was forced to take shelter from a storm reported seeing a bipedally walking thing walking through his camp, but didn't really give any other information on that.
No further description other than just
Yeah, it
like
was
something bipedal was here.
just thought to have been part of this whole thing in the abandoned town there. And then
God damn it! Now my wife's talking shit about the lighting. Fuck off! It was worse before. Okay, this is a temporary solution.
it works for now.
Oh, she's rolling me. This is unfortunate. Okay, sorry.
I mean, it looks better than it did.
That's what I'm saying.
Settle down.
She's like,
Simmer
"Oh,
down.
you should have set up at my makeup desk."
What?
Just rolling me. All right,
Um,
sorry to have derailed this. I need to drink all of my drink.
I also saw one from the Uraula. It's a Uraluya. I don't know how to
Yeah,
pronounce it, but it's described as being 10 foot tall with long shaggy fur and having luminescent eyes. Their arms are long and lanky and reach down to their ankles.
that
They
was
emit
the
a
Yupik of Western Alaska.
okay. The people were the
Yes,
Yupik.
That was
Uh,
yes. That was
ah,
their again. Like these were all things that I saw as like they're similar to these,
similar,
whether or
yeah,
not that's just regional variants of the same thing
same
or
thing.
yeah.
But yeah, these also emit a high pitched cry similar to a loon, which Jacob won't be able to hear, but hopefully everybody at home will listen to. It's a loon song here. It's kind of creepy, kind of eerie. But these are rumored to live near Lake Ilu- Iliamna.
Okay, a lake.
But these are said to be peaceful creatures, and they are said to have been transformed children who have gotten lost in the woods at night. And I think that was off Wikipedia, but I think it said that it was one of those boogeyman type stories, allegedly, which gets you into a weird place
Okay,
on a
so if we're
lot of
talking
cryptid
about,
stuff.
I lost focus here. Where am I? Okay, so I need to bring this up since you mentioned this. I grabbed this off the Esoterics article. The fearsome Alaskan Tlingit Kushtaka. If it's not one thing, it's an otter.
I saw
So
that.
they credit it to Pelton and De Gennaro, 1992, page 20. The Kushtaka has been treated in some literature as a boogeyman or hobgoblin. This is inaccurate and does not honor how seriously the Tlingit feel the threat of the land otter people. In a sense, the Kushtaka deprived the victim of everlasting life, for his soul could not be reincarnated. The land otter lurked to save, that is, to capture those who drowned or became lost in the woods. The unfortunate captives were taken by the land otter people to their homes or dens and, unless rescued by a shaman, were then themselves turned into land otters. Kushtaka often appear in the form of a relative or friend to confuse the victims. Dogs were protection against the land otter people, for not only were the animals afraid of dogs, but the dogs barking forced the land otter people to reveal themselves. Small children were thought to be most in danger of being captured by the land otter people and were warned not to wander off from parents or venture too far away from home alone.
Don't go near the water's edge.
It seemed like it was regarded more seriously than just like the boogeyman is the
Yeah, yeah. The
what I kept seeing.
people definitely held it higher than the boogeyman for sure. It was scared that whole town away allegedly.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that?
People are like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. There's just a bunch of dead bodies showing up on
Yeah, dude, I
shores.
would that would be enough to get me out of Dodge.
I
I'd
mean, probably
kill your
not. I'm
horse.
pretty lazy.
So I have one other story. Like, uh, this one will be really quick. It's like so those who get captured by the Kushtaka are returned to their den, and turned into one unless rescued by a shaman, like we just talked about. So I read one where it was like implied that it was turned into a like the person was turned into the Kushtaka, but like it doesn't directly ever say it.
Okay.
So like this guy was in a canoe with there's a bunch of people in a canoe and they got like tipped over and everybody drowned except one guy. So he was rescued by the Kushtaka, but like they looked like his friends or whatever. So he was like, oh, okay, sick. Like I'm just getting picked up by the
My
people, and then they
buddies.
just like took him down like back to their place or whatever. And then like there he ran into like his aunt who had drowned several years before, but like actually didn't drown because she was in the same position that he had been in. But like
Oh, okay.
yeah, so she had grown fond of the people and wanted to stay, but she made her husbands return him. She had two husbands. She made her husbands return him. So they dropped him off like outside of a town where he roamed around like crying really loud at night. So the townsfolk set out cat traps to catch him. Again, I'm just going to read this from that Esoterics website. I'm going to have a link to this article in the description. Uh, they fixed a rope in such a way to ensnare him, but at first they were unsuccessful. Finally, however, they placed dog bones in the rope so that they would stick into his hands. Dog bones being the greatest enemies of land otters.
Oh,
I
okay.
Dog
Are
bones.
they sharpened or just?
I
A
do not
dog
have that
bone.
information. So late that night, the land otter man tore his hands with these bones so that he sat down and began to scream. And while he was doing this, they got the rope around him and captured him. When they got him home, he was first very wild, but they restored his reason by cutting his head with dog bones. He was probably not so far gone as most victims. Then they learned what happened to him. Uh, After this time, however, so he was just like, he kind of like hung out for a while. He was just like, good.
Just chilling.
Yeah, he's literally like, yep, they just cut his head with dog bones, and then he was fine.
Just
It was just
hold
like
still.
good, and they're like, okay, okay. So like then again, like he just hung out and he was cool. Like, but from then on, like he just ate his meat and fish raw. So like once then like he was with the halibut fishers, and they wanted him to they really wanted him to eat some of the cooked halibut. I guess he was notably a good halibut fisher, and there was suggestion that he learned it from the land otters, but he did not say so. So for a long time, he refused to take any, but finally consented and ate some of the cooked fish, and it killed him.
Interesting.
So I guess
Doomed
they can
to a
only
life
eat dead
of
stuff. You
yeah,
can't eat
doomed
anything
to a
cooked.
life of uncooked food.
I mean, but is that all bad? There's a lot of raw vegan diet. That's not good.
It's also believed like
Tartar, sushi. Those things are raw.
right.
People like those.
I could be
Sorry,
wrong about this, but I thought that I had heard that eating cooked meat specifically and maybe other things led to the human brain developing
development.
in
I believe
early
that's
humanoids.
theory. I don't know that that's
A fact, yeah, for
like
sure.
proven. I think that's just like the idea of like, yeah, people being able to cook things. Yeah. I don't understand the direct correlation. I think it's more of like you could consume more. Is that all it is? You can
I
eat
have
more
no
meat.
idea. You can cook the meat.
Well,
You
like you
have
cook it, so then like you just like it doesn't kill you. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Because you're not eating like the raw meat. I don't know. I don't. Shit. I have no idea. It's not like anything
even
before
cooked
that was
meat.
cooked. Like you had to have been alive eating raw meat.
Yeah,
I don't. Goddamn.
you'd
I don't
have
know.
to have be able to possess fire for to cook meat. So up until that point,
Okay,
just
so
eating raw
when
meat.
you have fire, how long does it take before you like throw food on the fire? Is it
I
an
would say
accident?
that's one of the first things.
Do you already know how to cook food and you find fire before and you like somehow you're like, oh
You
cool,
just put
this is
these
good.
two and
Like
two
I've eaten this
together.
already, and then eventually fire figured out to the point where like I can keep it going and like move it around or like start one myself. You are I don't know.
I'm gonna throw some mammoth meat on here. Kebabs.
Which came first, the fire or the chef?
The questions of
The
life.
questions indeed. Do you have anything else in here on your notes that you want to talk about?
Nope.
I know we said it's not the boogeyman, but I definitely
It could be the
so the
boogeyman.
name Kushtaka, it's spelled Kushtaka. So I have Snoop Dogg's boogeyman sneaks into your house and steals your kush like crackhead tooth fairy.
I love it.
Oh, also we had talked a bit about in the Doarku episode forever ago that otters are assholes. Just wanted to bring that back.
Oh
Otters
yeah,
are
yeah.
assholes. Just
Actually,
facts, no big.
somebody from work was like had listened to that episode and was like, I can't ever look at otters the same.
Hey, at least that's good.
So you're
You
welcome.
know, cool. If you want to go listen to that episode and let us know how bad it was, that would be cool. I think that was like episode 4 of the first season, so I assume it's pretty bad.
Quite
Go,
early.
go let me know how bad it is.
I really should go back and listen to some of those episodes just to remind me how bad I am at doing
How
a
far we've
podcast.
come. Make
Really
you feel a lot
bring it-
better about what we're doing
humble
now. Okay.
myself, yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Nathan
Either way.
says the cooking process not only removes potential harmful parasites, which yes makes sense, but it also makes food a lot easier for the human body to digest.
So it just like made food healthier.
Eating cooked food meant we spent that energy on growing our brains rather than maintaining.
Fighting parasites and
Yeah.
bullshit. Okay. Cool.
Is it also easier to store cooked meat?
I don't think you have storage for a long time. It's in terms of like human evolution. You know what I mean? And the early forms of that are like
Yeah.
salting,
Salting and
and then you
burying
just
shit.
salt the shit out of it. I guess then also maybe I'm not sure when like pickling became a thing.
I it's
God fucking damn it, dude.
I
There's
would
too
love
many
to
weird things
listen
in
to
food.
a history podcast about food.
I love food. I baking, the idea of that confuses the shit out of me. Like, why do you have grains that you're milling before? Like, what are you making flour for before you know how to make bread? Like,
Yeah.
what? And then you just decide
Also
you can just like,
yeast.
I'm just gonna grind this shit up. Fuck it, don't even get me started on yeast. But like, I don't understand how you can just like, I get like the like, okay, it sits around for a while, and then like natural yeast will just like be present and then grow in there, and like, so you can learn like, okay,
Sourdough and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But like, you can learn like to just to sit around. Well, like they did that with like alcohol as well, with like mead and stuff, because that used to sit open. That's how
Just
that it was like an
accidentally.
accidentally, yeah. And then they
Yeah.
figured out. So then like they would use the same spoon too. They had like a big stirring stick for it, a big wooden one. So then they would use that, and then that would help like
Transfer the.
inoculate the new batch. I make alcohol, if you didn't know. So
Jacob makes alcohol and bakes, and I do nothing, but I am a baker.
I do I love fucking
Jacob
cooking. Yeah, I don't
knows
know, just
more
the
about
idea of like
making
I'm
food than
so
I do.
confused about like the amount of content that I consume online that is like cooking shows, and like the fucking, oh my god, the hours I have put in watching like the Gordon Ramsay videos is fucking staggering. It's actually unreal.
I just spend all that
And
time
either way, yeah,
figuring
I'm
out how to
just
build
the
computers, but
thoughts of that is just like it hurts me sometimes. Just like I don't understand like where the first person was like, I'm gonna grow these things, or and then grind it into a powder, mix it with water and this stuff, and then make it hot, and then eat that. Like I don't know. That just, it seems like there's a lot of processes that have to take place, and you already have to have knowledge of something to do that, and it's weird to me. Maybe
especially
I'm just
before science, like before you could
maybe I'm
like.
just thinking into it too much. God, just don't fucking food science is ridiculous too when you start looking into that. And then there's like exact ratios of like, oh yeah, if this is how much of this you're using, this is the exact percentage of that weight that you need to use for this ingredient. And that's how, yeah.
You're trying to make some quiche and you accidentally make a bomb. Okay,
I
who's the
don't
person that?
I don't follow the fucking reference
There's
that you're making,
no
dog.
reference. It's bad
Fucking
jokes.
what? Okay.
Just
All
bad
right.
jokes.
Okay. What
Counting
I guess,
cryptids.
okay, I guess we're done here. What are we on to now?
Got to do 1v1.
1v, okay, what did we talk about last time?
Papa
I already
Bawa.
forgot. The Papa Bawa. Okay. So between the Papa Bawa and the Kushtaka,
That's a great
what
question.
is superior?
Hmm.
The Papa Bawa was like the bat wing
Yeah.
shape shifting cyclops rapey demon rogue Jin guy.
We have to take them
If you,
all. We have to take them both for face value.
yeah,
So that's tough. Nathan says Papa Bawa because it flies.
that is a pretty
Kosser also
significant
Papa
advantage.
Bawa.
I think that is the case. It's like an Otter-man versus like a, I mean, it's like a demon, right?
Yeah, I feel like the demon's
I
gonna
think
figure out
it's
that
bigger.
it's
It's
the Otter-man, whether it's a human or an otter.
and the Otter-man is sort of like it turns you into an Otter-man, whereas the Papa Bawa was like physical abuse or
Yeah,
sexual
anally
abuse, or
raping
you know,
you.
yeah, like a lot. It was, yeah. I think I go Papa Bawa on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where you're at too?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I like the Otter-man a lot, actually.
I did too.
The
Oh, it's a good
depictions
story.
of it are super cool. But
Yeah. I don't think it stands up to the demon in that instance. But how about you, listeners? Go let us know over on social media. If you're listening live right now, it is currently not available. I suppose we could post it in the Discord right when we're done here, though. If you want to vote,
post it right now.
let
Fuck
us
'em.
know. So that way, okay, Connor's posting it in the Discord right now. Right now.
Right
Right
now
now.
in the polls only.
Right now in the polls only, you can go and vote for who you think would win between the
I need a good
Kushtaka.
emoji for it though.
Is there not an otter?
Would I use the devil one?
Yeah, use that one for Popobawa.
Okay, and
do you
remember,
have, like, an
listeners,
otter?
it's reacts only. Don't be dropping your emojis in here.
That was what you're supposed to do. What do you mean? That's the reacts, right? Oh,
Right.
you mean
Some
like
people
as a
were
separate
replying,
message?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not that it
Cool.
matters a
Yes.
whole lot.
Also, that will be posted on other social media when shortly after this episode comes out, which is this coming Thursday, the 26th of March, 2020. Desperate for the downloads, even though the world is falling apart. Real quick, shout out to Connor for fucking working in a place that doesn't close because you work at a grocery store that doesn't close. So
would
fucking
not recommend.
everybody thank Connor for fucking being the guy he is.
I made bread.
That shit sucks.
I made so much bread.
You gotta
That's
get
all I
that bread,
did.
Connor.
Gotta get that bread. Yeah, I did. I did get that bread. Should reflect
Good.
on this week's paycheck.
Hey, yeah, fucking. How many hours did you work? Like 70?
I think it was only like 65.
Either way, homie. That's a lot of OT. Well,
Give
that's
me the
cool.
money.
I guess what that puts us to other poll results.
Yeah, the results of the
Well,
polls.
the results of the polls from the previous polls, which was Popobawa and Tikbalang.
Yes.
Yes. Which was the reverse centaur with the butterface. Loading results.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that you had open?
It played out the wrong thing, but oh well. We'll just skip that. Put it in post.
Okay.
All right. As you can see here on the Twitter, if you're watching live, if not,
yes.
a total of 5 votes on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, vote.
If you're on Twitter, feel bad.
Yeah, you should. So Tikbalang won this round here.
Okay.
60-40.
What about Instagram?
Instagram.
Or whatever you have
12
next.
people voted for the Popa Bow Wow. Popa Bow Wow.
Okay.
Bow Wow Wow. Yippee yo, yippee yay.
Bow wow.
And 8 for Tikbalang.
Okay.
Papa Bow Wow is in the lead.
Okay. And then what about Discord?
The Discord. 8 for Papa Bow Wow. By a landslide. And 3 for Tikbalang.
So Popo Bawa won the last one?
Yeah, and this we're guessing it's going to go on again, which is unfortunate because I really like the Tikbalang, his manly hoarseness.
Yeah. I mean I like this one. Like the Kushtaka is fucking interesting. We never really talked about this. Where are you at on this though? Like what do you think?
I think it's just a Bigfoot. In Nick Redfern's article, he draws comparisons.
Like it kind of is, but like it's different, right? Like you don't have this same thing with like other Bigfoot encounters. You don't have like a swarm of them chasing you, trying to fucking kill you,
no,
or like bodies washing down river because the Bigfoots are just killing people.
That's
this
true.
isn't like typical Sasquatch territory, like not like territory, but like territory. You know what I mean?
Knocking trees, making teepees.
And I think they have other if I'm not mistaken, there is also like that's also acknowledged, like a separate thing. Like they are different entities that are identified. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so. In that
So
Mysterious Universe article, Nick Redfern was like comparing the two, and then like went on to say that like maybe Bigfoot is a shapeshifter.
yeah, maybe he's an interdimensional shape
Correct.
shifting. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like it sure.
It's not quite the
I
same.
can't feign to know all the fucking Sasquatch stuff. That shit gets deep, and I don't have the time of day to fucking keep up with all of it. It's ridiculous. There's a lot.
Go listen to a
But like
Bigfoot
I don't know.
episode
Like
somewhere
I
else.
think it seems different. Like it's similar, definitely. I'll give you that. But I think it's different. Is it like I heard like connections of like is it just like people like a different
tribe.
yeah it's just
not
like separated from
for?
people a long time ago for whatever reason or
Oh,
another or
okay,
something like I don't
another type of hominid.
yes like literally just like an offshoot of like Homo sapien that like evolved differently than
Is
the
that
rest
not what
of
Bigfoot
Homo
is?
sapiens did. Well, but I don't think I think that's further away. I mean, in theory, than Homo sapien. I think this is closer.
To Homo erectus.
I think this would be closer to humans than. Well, shit, I have no idea why
Bigfoot.
I think that. I don't know why I think that.
I don't either.
I have no idea why.
Also, giants.
What?
Bigfoot
What about
could
giants?
also just be a giant.
Oh, okay, sure.
A hairy giant.
I don't know. I heard that posed. It's just. It's weird. I don't have. You know what? I definitively I don't have anything that I'm like, yeah, I think it's this. Other than just like it is what it is, man. Like
If I
I don't know what to
decide with
tell you.
one idea would be just, yeah, it's the boogeyman story. But I don't know where
Well,
you
but
would get
again, I
this
think
half
it's
otter man.
from what I'm seeing before. It's just like it was regarded more seriously than just like a cautionary tale for children.
Yeah, don't go near the rivers or leave the
So
camp at night.
I don't know, and I'm slightly more like inclined to believe this one than some of the other ones that we talk about too. It is rather unbelievable. I don't, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know. Where are you at?
I think it's just they're afraid of otters. Otters
Rightfully
can get
so.
up to
If I'm
5
being
feet
honest, rightfully
tall.
so. Okay, but
I've
these just
never
like
seen
7 feet
one
tall.
walk on 2 legs.
What about changing people into otters?
Where otter?
Land otter people. Land otter man.
I don't know. I don't know. How does that work? Are they like vampires? Spite ya, or is it magical?
I don't think that they have to be bitten. I never saw that reference as like, yeah, you got to be bit to change into one. They just like do it to save you
do it.
somehow. I don't really know. I don't get it.
They snap their otter paws together and bada boom, bada bing. You're a were otter.
Okay. Well, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's a weird one. I'm into it. If you go looking for this and you find anything else that we didn't mention, send it our way. This
Yeah,
is a
if you're
fun
from
one.
Alaska,
I like it. Yeah, if you have any local stories about this, I know we do
like to
have
hear
some
some more.
downloads in Alaska. There's a few listeners out there. Let me know.
Hello, Alaska.
I think we have one final order of business, Connor.
Do we?
Yes, we do. Victory! I think we have a review, Connor.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. That's pretty neat.
You wanna take this one?
Um.
It's on Discord.
Oh, we do. In the polls.
You set up a thing for it.
I did, but I don't see it. Oh, polls
It's
only.
right underneath
literally.
it. Yeah.
Oh no. Reviews.
It's right under
sorry.
polls only. You set up one for reviews because
This is a long-winded one from our good
Yes.
friend Nathaniel, aka Titan Lord, I think. Okay, first off, If you're not subscribed or following these beautiful boys already, then y'all better do it post haste. I give these men 5 out of 5 stars for this wonderful podcast they so generously create for us. I've listened to other paranormal podcasts like this, but they seem to either get too serious or too comedic with it, and it takes it away from me. Not these boys, though. They keep an amazing balance between both, and I tip my hat to them for that. This podcast has gotten me through many a day of working out in the cold snow or hot summer sun and never ceases to give me a laugh. Getting to know them and everyone else even more in the community Discord has been a riot too, and if you aren't in there, I highly recommend getting in there because it's always a good time. I love the two best buds in a basement talking about whacked out shit. Feel that they have going. It reminds me of times with my friends in the past. They put a great deal of effort into this and always take people's and fans' feedback into account, even when it's bullshit feedback. I'm looking at you anti-swearing nutcases that have left reviews in the past. The merch is stellar and comfy as hell. I highly recommend the hoodie. They're so soft, and I love wearing mine. Keep up the amazing work, Jacob and Connor. You'll have my support through and through. Many heart reacts. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you. That was amazing. I like the especially like the merch plug in the middle of the review there.
Yeah, TeePublic. Go and see it.
Yeah, link in the description. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you everybody for being here live. The chat's been fucking blowing up now that mine finally updated. I can see all you in there. Hi, sorry. I don't have anything left to say. I don't think.
I hope everybody's doing okay during these trying
yeah,
times.
fucking Jesus Christ. Forgot
It's been weird.
Apart. It's been weird. It has been weird.
Quite weird.
I don't really know what to expect out of anything anymore right now. It's very strange. So, yeah. I guess we're just gonna kind of keep trying to do what we can, and then
Yeah,
this whole setup here is just like, cool. Now we can
do a podcast.
Do this remotely if we need to, or like however when. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. So
take it day by day.
Yeah. Again,
right.
Join us in the Discord with the homies. Somebody just joined today.
Yes, he was from Instagram.
Where's your fucking name? Hang on. Shouting you out. Where are you at? Mothgoth Man, yes. Welcome.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for messaging me on Instagram and asking what the Discord was.
Hey, you can certainly do that too if you are wondering about the Discord. Also, somebody was in the chat right away. I don't have it in front of me. Damn it. Said they were just listening to us, and then we just went live.
It was Angel. So. Thank you, Angel.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
You're still here. Shout out. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Fucking stay safe out there. Shit, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, good
Connor,
luck.
you too. Shit, I don't know.
Oh shoot, I'll try.
I've just been chilling in my basement, like literally. I've been working, like where I'm at right now. I've been working, just
working.
Here.
You mean you've been gaming this entire time?
No, I haven't. I was fucking busy at work today.
That's fair.
All right. There's no fucking point. What are we doing?
We will see you next time.
Thank you for being here, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in another 2 weeks.
See ya.
Bye.